I'm curious how you look at mentorship, because I have a saying, right? Mentorship over schooling, right? I've been putting that on a lot of social platforms just because our society is very big into schooling, right? Like, go to school and that's where you're going to pick up all this information that's supposed to help you, but it really doesn't. I firmly believe we need mentors and people that have done it and then can guide us in the direction that we need to go. Right. So when did you find mentors? Because I know you have a top 100, like you have 100 lists, right? Like, when did you understand the concept of mentorship?
I really started to learn it. Like mentorship was something that has always kind of been involved in my life because it's been outside of the, like growing up, I was very involved in like coaching and courses. Like I coached hockey when I was younger. I was able to do that because my dad also coached hockey, so he taught me a lot. So I went to a lot of these coaching seminars for hockey, and I just got a passion for teaching people. And I always wanted to be a teacher myself growing up, but I realized that, like, why would I only want to influence 25 kids when I could influence like thousands of people online?
Absolutely.
Like my just being able to, like, the scalability of like my message, like I shouldn't like, it would be selfish of me to conform it to 25 people instead of thousands of people online. But being into mentorship, like I always had great mentors, be it like hockey coaches, sports coaches, or like you can find a mentorship from anywhere. But I really like wanted to get into mentorship because I always like knew like some people go into like think that teachers are just like mentors, but sometimes
Right.
teachers are just there to like get a paycheck at the end of the
Absolutely.
day.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. So you have to kind of pick and choose like which ones are actually there because they genuinely want to help, and then which ones are there for their own selfish reasons of just getting a paycheck at the end of the day. Sure. And not really caring and just filling out like the minimum requirements for what they have to do. Because I had like good blend of like really bad teachers and really good teachers, so I saw kind of both sides there. Yeah. And yeah, mentorship is incredibly important because, especially if you don't understand a certain topic, so be it like Facebook advertising, for example. So I really started to learn that last year, and I seeked out help from people that were doing it really well. But you got to offer something in return to get that mentorship. Like you can't just be like, hey, be my mentor or something like that. Like I get messages quite a bit now where kids are like, oh my God, like I saw you like post things in whatever Facebook group that you're in. Like, can you help me? Can you be my mentor? I'm like, no. like you can't just like go out and like ask people to be a mentor. Like I would just send them a link to like my scheduler, for example, and then I would tell them rates, and then I wouldn't hear from them again. So they're not actually serious about actually getting the mentorship. They're interested in the free advice only. Sure. Which is good to give like every so often, like the free advice and stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel that if kids are really serious or people are serious about getting mentored, they'll actually do an investment of some sort, because then it's like school. If you go to school for free, that's why it's a big thing in the States, I know, where it's like free college, free education or something like that. I think that would take away from people actually like having an investment inside of the school. Like I didn't pay for my schooling my whole first year. Every year after my first year, I paid for it because my grandparents left me some inheritance to just have my first year paid for. And I didn't take it seriously because I didn't like, you didn't
pay for it. You didn't have to sacrifice for it, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so mentorship, it's a give and take. So if you're willing to, like, there's this one mentor who I'm meeting up with tomorrow, who's actually in my local area of Vancouver. It'll be like my first Vancouver mentor in a really long time, because he has a really good podcast and he has like these really good spirituality connections and stuff of people that are inside the Vancouver community who I want to get involved with. But I'm probably going to end up, because I know that he runs about 5 or 6 different businesses. I'm probably going to, I usually don't do this anymore because I've been able, I did this like 8-9 months ago where I would work for free for someone in exchange for for a testimony or whatever. Cause that's a good way for my industry, especially for digital marketing, is to work for someone for free for a month. Just get them to do like whatever ad spend or whatever that they want to spend, but just work for them for free and just show them the results after. But for this guy coming up for tomorrow with my meeting with them, I'm most likely going to end up doing some campaigns for him for free, which I don't do anymore. But for him, I'll be able to do because there's so much upside for what he's going to be giving me that
Absolutely.
like I feel like I need to just do this stuff for him for free because
Of
he's
course.
delivers so much value to me that it's like it's the least I can do.
Of
Like he's
course.
giving me thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars worth of advice. Like if you're
Yeah.
looking at it from like a strict value to like monetary scale,
Sure.
and it's the least that I can do for him is to just like help him out with this like digital advertising and help him make some more money on his back end
Sure.
for delivering just so much value to my life. So
And that's it. It's a
yeah,
value exchange. It's
yeah,
it's a,
yeah.
it's a
That's
value
where I see
exchange.
mentorship, and that's where I find a lot of people make mistakes where they try to like just ask for mentorship without
Mhm.
returning anything. And I
Mhm.
feel like you should always return something, be it monetarily or just if you have your own skills, like
Mhm.
exchange it and just offer that. Be like, hey, I noticed that your website doesn't look very good, or hey, I noticed that I see that you're running Facebook ads, but they're not really gaining that momentum or anything of that sort. So maybe if I go in there and I help you tweak some of this out for you in exchange for like say 30 minutes a week from yourself. So just yeah, it's a give and take thing. That's where I've seen mentorship. That's the most
Yeah.
important aspect of mentorship is that it's not just them mentoring you. You're also should give something else as well in
Absolutely.
the mentorship because you're developing a relationship at the end of the day.
And I would say, right, like you hit the nail on the head, but I would take it even deeper to say that people aren't taught that, right? You have to like, and that's why I asked you the question up front about like how long have you known about mentorship, right? How do you get involved? Because I know how I got introduced to mentorship wasn't until, right, somebody introduced me to personal development. Right. And once I started understanding personal development, then yeah, you start to get those that understanding of, okay, if I have a mentor, it's a value exchange, right? What am I giving them in return for them giving me their knowledge, their time, whatever it is? But I don't think people get taught that, right? There's a lot of kids that will grow up and never really understand what it means to be mentored or have a mentor or what their role is in order to have a mentor. So I'm always curious at figuring out how do we explain that to people. And this is one of the things that this podcast is going to be able to do is really teach people like, hey, right, like you've just added a ton of value for there's somebody out there listening that maybe wants to have a mentor but doesn't understand the process or the steps or how to reach out or how to ask.